So sorry for waiting a bit. Thanks for being here. Gonna last, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours, depending on how many questions you've got. Just to introduce myself, I'm Ludovic Martin. I'm working for the website Mr. Villain. I've been working in a recruitment company for like 7 years, so I've got some advice that could be useful for you. Don't hesitate, ask questions. I'm not a teacher at all. My English is not perfect, so do help me find my words if I've got some difficulties. I'm just going to introduce you, Frederic, who is like the director of the school. Could be useful. It's a French school, and maybe some of you can be interested in learning French. So he's going to make a short description of the school, and then if you've got questions, you can ask at the end for registration and so on.
Bien, bonjour à tous et à toutes. Donc, je me présente, je m'appelle Frédéric, je suis le directeur de l'école suisse. Je vous fais une petite présentation courte, simple, en français de notre école. Nous sommes une école spécialisée dans l'enseignement de la langue française. Nous nous appelons École Suisse, mais nous nous adressons à tous les publics, de toutes les nationalités. Donc, notre caractéristique principale est d'être une petite école, de travailler la qualité en petits groupes répartis par niveau et en travaillant essentiellement le français général et plus particulièrement la communication orale. Une caractéristique de notre école également est la convivialité, la possibilité de parler, de communiquer en français en dehors des cours, pendant les pauses, pendant les repas, et d'accompagner de manière individualisée les personnes selon leurs objectifs, selon leurs ambitions de progression dans la langue française. Donc bienvenue à tous. Si par la suite, pour trouver un travail, vous avez besoin de vous perfectionner au français, nous sommes à votre écoute et nous pourrons vous renseigner. Bonne soirée.
So did you understand everything you said? Yeah? So your French is quite good? Not that much? Okay, intermediate. So yeah, if you need some lessons, there are some French schools. This workshop, again, I'm definitely not a teacher. We're here like to have a chat, talk together. If you have questions, don't hesitate. I think it can be interesting to talk about the CV, about the job search, and about the job interview. If you got questions about these different subjects, do not hesitate again. Just to let you know, in France, for one position, a recruiter can receive between, I don't know, 50 or 100 of applications. That means a lot. So it means your job is to make your application attractive and to be like different from the others and to attract the recruiters, to grab his attention. So to do so, you have only one tool. It's the CV. So they're going to compare every application the same way. They're going to see your CV and see what is good or not, and if it's okay to meet you or not. So this is really the first thing to do, is to make like the best CV you can do when you apply for a job. There are some rules. Maybe in your countries, you've got your own rules. In France, the CV must be written on a one-page document, so only one page. So you have to be concise and precise enough to put all your information in this one-page document. I heard that like even senior people with, I don't know, 20 or 30 years of experience can do it in one page, so I'm quite sure you can do it. Your job is to put only what can be interesting for the recruiter in this CV. We're going to talk about it later, but this is what you have to do. it is mandatory to make it in French. As you can see, we French people do not speak English fluently. We may have difficulties to understand everything in English. So if you do it in French, so you're sure that the recruiter can understand everything about yourself. So your work experiences, education, skills, and so on. And this is what you have to do, is to make things clear for the recruiter. So do it in French. If you're not sure about your level, make it correct by French people, you know. For sure, no spelling errors, no mistakes. Even though you're not French, it's a professional document, so it shows how professional you are or not. So again, do not hesitate to make it correct, just to be sure that there is no mistakes on it. That's yeah. Even though your French is not perfect, when you do a French CV, you can mention that French 2 point basic. To make a French document or French CV doesn't mean that you're totally fluent in French. But your job is to make things clear to the recruiter, so he or she understands everything, the content of your resume. So make it in French. Sometimes we get some job descriptions that are in English, so it can be good to make both versions, one in English and one in French, because I don't know, maybe the recruiter is not really good in English, but the operational manager, so the second step of the recruitment process, is totally fluent. So it can be good for both. And when you see a job description in French, for sure do it in French. It must have a defined structure, like different blocks, like personal information, work experience, education, skills. This has to be really clear for the recruiter. Quickly, we want to find, okay, what are the language skills? Okay, there is a block for that, and we can find the information really quickly. Don't hesitate to make your CV personal, like a touch of color, some icons. I don't know, you can put some logos if you find it nice. You can put a picture, but just to make it attractive. I can show you like different examples of resume of CVs. Just to show you like some resume are only black text on a white piece of paper, and these are not really the best. For instance, just to show you this one, to me this is not the perfect example of a resume. We do not understand anything. The structure is not really clear. It's not really attractive. I hope this person is not applying for a marketing job, for instance, which is the opposite of marketing. Here, I don't know, I can show you like 2 examples. So this one, so this person would like to work for the luxury industry. Just to show to the camera, and this one, you see there is color. It's more attractive than the other one. And your job is to grab the attention of the recruiter, and again to show something about yourself. Again, if this person would like to work for the marketing industry, it's really not the best example. Other things. So for sure the content must be clear, concise, and precise. You only have a 1-page document to do so. Always try to adapt your CV to the job you're applying, because it makes sense. So to me, you only have to do like 2 or 3 different CVs, and then you apply to different jobs. But again, try to always adapt your CV to the job you're applying. And again, just to talk about the visual aspects of a CV, I often compare it to like the packaging of a project when you're in a supermarket. Between the 2 examples of CVs, there is a product you buy just because of the packaging, and it can be the same with that. Something you feel attractive or appealing, you'd like to know more about the thing. So this is about the visual aspect. I don't know if you have questions about that.
I think there's different philosophies. Like if you're in engineering, like in a serious profession, they always tell you don't put all these graphics on there.
Sure, it depends on the industry. Bank industry, or again, or you'd like to work for a marketing position, or if you'd like to work, I don't know, as a lawyer, not a lot of color and so on. But I mean, in general, you have to grab the attention of the recruiter with just to make it attractive and so on.
And if I see a job written in English, I usually send my resume in English. You think I should just send it in French always? Because usually you just get one chance to send one resume. Resume, unless you put both versions on one.
You put 2 versions on one document, yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of mistakes on LinkedIn where they want a native French person, but they write it in English, and they say they need English speaking, because if you send me your resume, a lot of the time they really want a French person that speaks English. Speaks fluent English, so I've seen them change the description from English to French. That was really funny. There were some people who were interested in me, but they found out I wasn't a native French speaker, and they changed it from English to French.
Yeah. To me, the best thing when it's for an international company, the best thing is to do both versions. But again, so I'm in contact with a lot of different companies. They always prefer when the CV is in French, because they're sure that they understand everything, every details. So to me, that's the most important thing, is to do it in French.
I have a question. Do you need to put a cover letter as well?
You mean attached?
Attached to the.
Okay, the cover letter. We're supposed to talk about it later, but let's do it right now. To me, so it's called letter of motivation in France. No. Yeah. Okay. And to me, it's either you do a personal letter of motivation, or if it's too general, do not make it at all. Because again, it's the name is letter of motivation. So if you do not talk personally to the company, something that you can add to this company, it's not personal, and it shows the opposite of motivation to me. So do a good one, or not do it at all. Sure.
What about pictures? Do you use your personal picture?
Yes, this is something that I do recommend. It's not mandatory, so it's your choice to do so. This is not something you have to do for the French CV, but I do recommend to do it. Again, with these 2 examples. First, it makes a CV more appealing, more attractive. 2, I would say, it makes the application of the CV more human. To me, this is a piece of paper. This is really somebody, and it's a way also to stay in the recruiter's mind. I would say you can memorize some face, and this is more difficult to stay in mind, I would say. So I would recommend to put a picture, for sure, professional one.
For any ages.
Sorry?
For any ages.
Sure.
Yeah, I have to ask this.
Yeah, sure. To me, you cannot hide your age on the resume. So
Yes.
if they're okay with that, they're gonna hire you and so on. So, but yeah, because if you do put a picture on the resume. I would say put a picture of you smiling in different. Sorry.
A sober.
Sober and smiling. In some countries, smiling in the professional environments means that you're not professional. That it's like, okay, you're here to make fun and so on. This is the opposite here in France. Just show that you're somebody friendly and so on. So during the interview and in the picture, don't hesitate here to be smiling. So yeah, we've got different blocks. So the block personal information where you put the picture. This is where you put, yeah, for sure, first name, last name. We used to put like marital status, okay, children and so on, or married. It's not the case anymore. We don't care if you're single or not. Makes no sense to mention that anymore. This is where you mention your address. To me, again, all I'm going to say is only my advice, so take it or leave it. But if you apply to a job that is really far from where you live, I would recommend not to mention your address. So the recruiters will not think, okay, this person will always be late. It takes more than 1 hour to go to the office and so on. We do have some examples. I'm in contact with companies and say, okay, this person lives more than 1 hour from the office. It will be too difficult. The person will always be late and so on. So if you do not mention your address, you get a better chance to get an interview. So
You just put Paris.
you can put Paris and not mention, or not. French is very general. I'd say that's on the world. But yeah, you can put Paris, France if you want, or not mention any address because we don't need to know that to recruit you. So if you apply to, let's say I'm living in Paris and I'd like to apply for a job in Bordeaux, for instance, in the south of France, again, do not mention your address. So it's an easy way go to an interview. And then it's your job to be ready for the interview and get there. Sure. For non-European people who have a visa, student visa or visa, or do mention it on the resume because it will definitely help. It shows to the recruiter that you're ready to work, that everything is ready for you to work here in France. So if you do have a visa, mention it specifically. So if you do not, if you do not have a visa, do not talk about that. For sure.
Do you mention your nationality?
Not necessarily. Depends. If you think it can help for you, like to get the job. I mean, if they're looking for a Dutch person, and you'll see, okay, nationality, and so on, then it's good. If you think it will not help, do it or not, but it has no consequence, I would say. But it's not mandatory to put your nationality.
For instance, in this example, I don't have a visa. I'm Brazilian, but I'm Italian citizen. So the other information options I can post that I'm Italian.
Yeah.
Just make it easier to
again, this is what you have to do is this, make it easy for your application and for the recruiter. So for the visa, if you do have a visa, mention it, and make things easy for the recruiter. For people who are not Europeans and who do not have a visa, my advice is to to get a lot of information on how to work and try to grab all the information the recruiter will need to make you work in the company. So when you come to the interview, you can say, okay, I do not have a visa, but I know exactly what the company has to do. I've printed all the documents and so on. So they would say, okay, I have nothing to do. You've done other stuff. Okay, it can be better and easier for the candidate if you do so. This is where also this personal information, this is where you can put your LinkedIn profile. Some recruiters may not like the format of or your design of the CV, so they will click on the link and go to the LinkedIn profile. So do mention it there, and for sure, because it can sometimes happen, mention your phone number and your address and your email address, because if you do not do so, they will not contact you. But this block personal information, do you have some questions? Is everything clear? Yeah. Don't hesitate. Then we've got a block work experience, which is like the most important. This is where you put all different interesting experiences you had. So it follows a chronological order, begin with the most recent to the oldest. Mention the name of the company, the dates, your job position, and details with some bullet points, like straight to the point. Okay, you see like this. Do not make sentences, and give really precise and concise information about what you've done. With bullet points, it's enough. Yeah, it can be good. Yeah, because it's a one-page document. Yeah. No full sentences yet, because you do not have a lot of place. It's a one-page document, so go straight to the point. Like, I don't know, launching a new product in this market, like this. So quickly you understand what you were in charge of. Because it's a one-page document, you cannot detail every experiences you had, because you would need two pages. So you've got two options. Option one, you only mention and not detail what you've done. I don't know, you put the name of the company, job title, and that's all, because you don't want to explain, because it's not interesting for the recruiter for this position. Or if you think it will not help, you can skip it or leave it. But I would prefer that you only mention it and not develop it.
Otherwise, it could be.
They would think there is a gap, or exactly, yeah. So the best thing is to only mention it and to develop what is interesting for this position and for the company. So you have to make like a good balance between different experiences. I don't know if you between an experience in it's, to me, it's better to make an internship in marketing if you'd like to work in this field. 2 months internship is better than, I don't know, 1 year working in a restaurant, for instance. So I would prefer to have more information about this internship. So again, you develop this one and you only mention the other one. Because you will do it your CV in French, try to use the good expression and vocabulary. In different fields and or industry, you've got a specific vocabulary or expressions. And again, if they're going to compare their own job description and your CV. So if they find the same expression in both, they will say, okay, there is something interesting. I'm going to meet this person. So try to use the same vocabulary and expressions. And to do so, you go on different job description and you say, okay, this is how they call launching a product in French, it is. And so you use this expression. Plus, some recruiters are using software where they only put some keywords. And then if you got the good keywords, your CV will appear at the top of the list. So this is why first it can be interesting for you to make it in French, because maybe they're going to type the keywords in French, and do use the good expressions because this is what they're going to use. So, and again, to know that, you see different job descriptions and you're going to say, okay, this is how they call typical expression. But this part of the CV, do you have something to add, or do you have something to ask? Sure.
Is it for like certain tense to speak in?
Sorry?
So like in American CD, for example, you start with like a directive term. You say like taught 30 people this, and that. So you start with like a directive term, then you say something quantifying. Like there's a certain format for how you state your experiences. Is there something similar?
I do not know that. I know that for junior people, they start with the education and then with work experience, and it's the opposite.
I'm like specifically talking about, so you have the section work experience section, and you have title. So I worked at a company called TinyBuff, and then it says like led creation of application for children's game that garnered 15,000 downloads. So like that's like one of the items, and there's a certain format in which you state your experience.
Okay.
So like that sentence, is there like some similar?
Yeah, for sure. When you use these bullet points, there are some you begin with some verbs like, okay, launching this, doing that, creating. They want to know exactly what you are in charge of, and this is something that you can quantify, but you can put some concrete facts or results. I don't know, 30% of, and so on. So if you can put some things like really concrete, this is something that can help you. So about the blog hobbies or interests, I would say the same that for this letter of motivation. If you have nothing personal to say, do not make it. I mean, if you put music, football, and cinema, yeah, it will not help you get a job. I think so. To me, it's better to put some details about your work experiences than to have this blog hobbies or interests, because this will not help you get an interview. So, but if you do have some place on the CV and some interesting things to say, do it if you want. But if you get a lot of details you'd like to mention about some experience and so on, it's better to do so and not to make this blog, I would say.
Do you think it's important to have a language block? If, say, my French is not super advanced, will it help me or hurt me to include that I speak A2 French, for example?
Yeah, sure. You do have to make like skills, computer skills, if it's interesting for the position, and language skills. So in this blog, you have to mention the language, the level of the language, because sometimes I see, okay, French, English, Spanish, but okay, do you really speak the three languages perfectly or not? So language, level of the language, and if you can put something concrete, like diploma you had, things like that, just to prove your level.
How do you, I don't know my level. I just say fluent.
You have to take the Delphi.
Or-
French should take the Delphi.
Big.
Yeah,
See, the
yeah.
Delphi, every Delphi school.
Yeah.
It's the Delphi, you have to take the test called the Delphi. There's like two of them.
Yeah, but I've been doing that for 7 languages. So how will this is for French. This is the Delphi for French. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
What about my other languages? Do I?
So to me, again, really simple. If you pass an exam mention it. If you, I don't know, sometimes I see, okay, English fluent, and I don't know, 3 years in the US. Okay, to me, it proves nothing. Sometimes you cannot prove your level, and that's your case. But if you can prove it, it's better for the recruiter, so they can like trust you. I talk about that because for sure we French people we always mention okay bilingual English, and that's not the case. But if I see that in like 3 years in the US, I would say okay, this person's the level must be really good. So it's a way to prove and to yeah.
Another thing I've seen people do, at least for skills, like skills still not necessarily quantifiable either. So like, people put like dot.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So like that's something that's like not a direct level marker, but it's something that at least I can understand what languages rank for you. So like you speak English better than Spanish. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I do. But
And visually again, to go back to this visual aspect, but visually it's easier and maybe more attractive to see like these different points.
I've been traveling last year. Should I mention that? Because otherwise I have a big gap on my resume for 1 year. So I don't know if I should mention it.
Like you've got a gap on your resume,
Yeah, because I
and
was
it
not
was
working during this years. We were traveling. So,
Okay. To me, yeah. We
where do
I don't want to have to, in this in work experience. You can mention that between this and this traveling, and
Yeah.
if you want to add some other stuff, some or things like that. But we have to know, okay, what had she done during
Yeah,
1 year?
exactly. That's fine.
Yeah. So you have to answer the question before they ask.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Sure.
It's about the experience though. I read in a website, an American website, that you have to mention what you did in the company, like what did you improve in the company. But I made it just that I made my CV that style. But somebody just replied, all right, it's pretty nice what you improved in the company, but I want to know what did you do in the company? What are your tasks?
Yeah, this
So
is what
what's-
we're
what's
yeah.
the style
This is
of
what
the
you're
experience?
supposed to do. Is you have to mention your task, what you were in charge of.
All right.
This is when I see a resume, I want to concrete to know what you are doing for this company, because only a job title is not enough to me. I want to know concrete. Okay, what were your tasks? What were you in charge of? This is what we need to know.
Because this American website just told me, all right, I just mentioned what to improve, what to make that in the company. And I just made it that way, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
It
no.
didn't work in France. They
Yeah,
just
we-
told me, it's really nice what you did,
But
but
yeah,
please tell me what to do.
exactly. This is what we need to know. And so when we see what you've been doing, you can say, okay, this is exactly what's in the job description. The mission of this position is about that, so it can be interesting to make an interview and so on. But yeah, we have to know concrete what you are in charge of. With this bullet points, straight to the point, and say, okay.
Okay, thanks.
Um,
Should you not also include your functions as well?
to include what?
Shouldn't it kind of be a mix of both your tasks and your accomplishments?
If you do have some place, yes, but sometimes you cannot always. Accomplishment is not for every kind of job. Sometimes you don't have like results. It's not something you can touch or concrete or quantify. So first thing is to develop what you were in charge of. Mention the different tasks. If you think it can be interesting for the recruiters, this information, you can mention it. But the first thing, it's like references. Also, to talk about references, do not necessarily put it on the resume. If they want to know about previous experience, they're gonna ask you at the interview. Okay, I'd like to contact your former employer. Can you give me the contact details and so on? So this is something that you can skip on the resume, so you can develop other valuable things, I would say. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
It's
If they-
really good, yeah. I speak English.
It's not something they do always, but for some companies, it's very important to just to be sure that it was good for with the last employer and so on, with the former employer and so on. This is what we do too. We want to know if you are really in charge of this, and we want to know the viewpoint of your former boss, for instance, what he can say or she can say about you.
Yeah, that was a good point about references.
Mhm.
Do you also like in the presentation email, if I have the mail of a recruiter, can I add the 3 references of companies or clients or that I worked before, like with the phone number, the name, and
When would you send that?
well, let's say that I have a contact of someone, a recruiter,
Mhm.
and then I have the email. I would definitely write something in the email and attach my CV.
Uh-huh.
Can I write some references
Yeah, actually, but again, they're going to contact.
without them asking?
Yeah, they're going to contact this contact, and when they're going to meet you, and then it's like, okay, I got a good feeling with this candidate. Now I want to be sure. I want other another viewpoints. They're going to contact other companies.
They might ask me for some references. It's a second.
Exactly, they're going to ask. Yeah, they're going to ask you, okay, could you give me the name or or sometimes they're going to contact directly the company. So. About this education block. Again, you follow the chronological order, same thing from the most recent to the oldest. And I don't know what you've done in high school is not really important. What you've done, I don't know, the university and so on is more important. So again, develop what's important. Only mention or skip. It's really far away, a long time ago. But we have to again have a good balance between the two. Do use again the keywords. For instance, if you're like I don't know, marketing expert in the fashion industry, if I see these 2 or 3 keywords in your work experience plus in your education parts, like your university specialized like this, or it's better to do so. So we see it different times on the CV, and we can say, okay, this is like the most important point for this candidate. So do not hesitate. What you can do for this like university things is to put the title and to list 3 or 4 courses that you've been following. Sometimes only with the title we do not understand concrete what it was. So first, it's a way to explain to the recruiter what you were studying. Plus, it's another way to mention these keywords and say, okay, I've got marketing in luxury industry. I've studied that. Plus, I've got some experiences in this field. Plus, what you can do in this blog personal information is to put a title, like, I don't know, marketing assistant. So we see it at different times. The title, work experiences, plus education. So this is something that can help. About this is like this blog personal information with the title. This is also where you can mention looking for, I don't know, an internship beginning there until the. It's where you can mention some other things what you're looking for.
Do you think it's better to do PDF or Word?
A PDF, for sure. A 1-page PDF.
This is just a side tip for everyone. A lot of times people to get past the recruiting scans for text.
Mhm.
People write in white text.
Okay, no, I've never heard of that.
If you put it in white text, it still registers as words, but like so if you don't have the experience, you know the trigger words for your specific industry, you can just write them in white text and it'll go through the scanner.
Yeah, but then they're gonna see the resume.
Yeah, but it's
Like-
white. What I'm saying is you put it in white text, so it doesn't appear when you look at it, but it'll go through the scanner as words.
But the recruiter will still say, okay, it appears at top. Then we're gonna have a look and say, okay, it has nothing. Yeah. So
No. If you
no.
understand.
What's in blank? They wouldn't see it. But then you can say, okay, why does it appear? Because it makes no sense. So it will not help you. Yeah. There is a human.
But at least look in the eyes of it. That's the plan. You just want the recruiter to look at it because your experience is good, but you don't have specifically
The keywords, the types.
experience in a specific programming language. You just cheat. You just put it in white text and then they'll look at it anyway and they'll probably like, I've done it a few times.
Okay.
No, I'm just telling you, I think it's unfair. I think that scanner is completely unfair.
Mhm.
Because it's like you sometimes have great experience, but you don't have the specific trigger words, or you don't have the specific programming language that you need. So why should you not look at my resume?
Yeah, the process is really bad nowadays for that one.
It's electronic. You get immediately jumped. Like there's a lot of times you apply and you immediately get a rejection letter, like in half a second. And that's completely unfair. So I was like, that's not fair. So I was like, anyways,
It's a chip. Take it or not. But yeah. Do you have other ones that you can share?
I don't
Okay. To me, like that's all for the CV. So if you get some personal questions or something that you're not sure, we talk about the visual aspect. We talk about these different blocks. The fact that it must be in French on a one-page document.
We all have also a lot like skills. You see nowadays, like she was saying with the language, with the Blueberry, so it's like skills.
So there is this block skills where you put language skills, computer skills
Yeah,
also
like
for
that
some
kind of-
skills,
yeah.
for some job. And you can, if you think it can be good for your application, you can add like a soft skills.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this is something that you can add if you think that you need something to add because you have no education in this field, for instance. Again, it's a way to add again the keyword can be used. Yeah. Hobbies. So we talked about it, but if there is nothing particular, if it's really to like again football, cinema, and music, it makes no sense to me. It will not help you get an interview. I don't know, something really, I don't know, the literature of the, I don't know which one century, something really, specific, I would say. But again, do not spend too much time on this because, it will not make the difference. If your profile is good, they're going to meet you, even though you've got this block or not.
Just return on language skills, just show me. Is it better to make those dots or maybe B1, B2, C1, C2? Doesn't matter.
Again, this visual aspect, you decide. To me, there is no difference. I want to understand what is your level. If you do use this European things, B1, C2, etc., like put the equivalent in a word, like okay, intermediate or fluent, because some recruiters may not understand exactly what it means. Okay, C1 and C2 and what it is A better than C? No, it's the opposite and so on. So again, if you put C2, comma, native speaker or like this and so on, we understand. Just C2 or B1 is not enough to me because maybe they will not understand. Again, try to make their life simple, easy, and so on.
you need to know your level for whatever reason, look at some pages for language schools.
If you've got some sites to share some, you know, where we can find this
I
test.
actually did this in Italy, so I don't know at one
Okay.
here, sorry.
Okay.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
What?
But there's some people.
What do you put on your CV as language level?
Me?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because I'm
I would-
really
You're going to test me right now. I would say I'm between intermediate and fluent. I'd say. I don't know, it does not exist. So I'm French, so I'm a liar. So I would say fluent. Yeah, this is what I would say.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, French is also. I know you have a high school English, so I'm wondering, should I be fluent, should I be
Yeah, to me, so it's mother tongue or native, bilingual, and then fluent, and then intermediate, and then basic or notions. Yeah, basic.
Just I'm curious because to compare. Yeah, because maybe what you would say in France is fluent, maybe in another country is.
It's not
Or- yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So your level is? Okay, do you have other questions? Because getting a CV is the most important thing. So
Yeah, which is the order in which you would put the blocks, like first personal, then work experience, then education.
to me, it's not that important the order and so on. What is important is that it's really defined. I would say the structure must be really clear. Again, it is known that when you're a junior candidate and you don't have a lot of experience, you so for sure personal information at top for like every kind of resume, and then education part, and at the end work experience. And it's the opposite. When you get some work experiences and so on, then you do the opposite. What the most important is the work experiences, and then your diploma is at the end. Because sometimes only mentioning it is enough because you've got a lot of work experiences that are more valuable, I would say.
And as from how much work experience, which is work experience above your education?
It depends because work experiences again can be babysitter in a restaurant. So these are not. Sorry. Yet, to me, this is for like students or young graduated to put this education part at the beginning.
So if you would have
If you've
less
worked
than 3 years work experience, for example?
year or less than 1 year, I would say. Yeah.
So if you have more than one.
Yeah, more than 1 year, I would say this is where you put work expenses. Yeah.
How far is the personal statement? Because they usually supplement it with like a mission, like a cover letter.
Mhm.
So do we put a personal statement in my resume as well? Because I find it to be just taking up space, so I usually don't.
What do you mean by personal statements?
People are taught as a product manager, creating apps, blah blah blah.
Okay, like a short paragraph at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the question is,
Is it important to find it to be essential?
to me, it's just a way, like to insist on the fact that you're looking for this kind of job and so on. It's a short summary of your CV. This is 3 or.
So you can repeat your keywords.
Yeah.
Again, it's another way to repeat the keywords. Mhm.
Depending on the position.
Yeah, sure. And if you do have some place on the CV, do make it because it's another way, like write a sentence to explain again. Okay, I'm a young graduate in this field. I like to work in the fashion industry because of this and this. So yeah. if you do a cover letter, so a letter of motivation, there is like a structure to do so, like three parts. First part is about yourself. The second part is about the company, and the third part is about you plus the company. This is why it has to be personal. You can do a cover letter that you can send to a lot of companies. It makes no sense and it's not good. And again, it's the opposite of motivation to work for this company. So again, first part is about you. The second part, the company, what you like in the company, and so on. This is where you put some specific information about the company. And then it's you plus the company, what you could add, what you can, what you could launch, and so on.
Do you also mention the job description or just company itself?
To me, about the job description, this is something that you can talk at the third part, what you can do, the different tasks. This is what you could do for this company and what you'd like to add. But again, do not spend too much time on this because first it takes time to do so, to write a cover letter. We're not always sure that recruiters read these documents. So, yeah. So, yeah.
Why do you not know that they read it?
Because as I told you, that they can receive like 50 or 100 of applications. And the most important for them is the CV. So if the CV is good, then they're gonna read this cover letter.
Then how long would you recommend the cover letter be?
Just a 1 page,
But
for sure.
it's even probably better to have it shorter, by what you're saying, right?
Sorry?
It's probably even better to have it shorter based on what you're saying.
Yeah, but again, if the resume is not good for them, then they're not gonna read anything. So cover letter, things like that, is something that is like to add something to your application, something that, okay, between two, I would choose this one, or, but if the CV is not correct for this position, even though the cover letter is perfect, they want something concrete, and the resume is for that.
And in France, like, who do you address it to? Because in States, you're supposed to address it to the recruiter, the person, either the contact that was on the original application, or if there's none, you write it to like the hired person in your team you're applying for. So who do you address it to?
So if you know the name of the person, because sometimes you don't know.
Yeah, like if you don't know who you're using.
So it's like Madame, Monsieur, etc. etc.
And do you think they should also be in French and English?
To me, yeah, I would say, yeah, first in French, and then, but again, motivation, they're gonna judge that during the interview. To me, it's like pretty simple. If they mention on the job description, send a CV plus a cover letter, do it. If it's not mentioned, do not spend a lot of time, because maybe they will not read it. So sometimes they specifically ask for that. So for sure do it, because if you do not do it, they will not read your application.
Well, oftentimes I find that there's just a spot for it. They don't actually specify do it or not do it.
Yeah.
It's like an electronic thing. So it's like, here's the slot to upload this, here's the slot to upload that. So in that situation, you wouldn't bother.
To me, if they don't ask for it, do not do it. Or if you have something specific about a company and you're really, really motivated, so this is what they recommend for. If you've got something really personal for this company, do it. You will not make a cover letter for every application you're gonna send. So like try to choose really the good one, and the other one you're gonna apply. And
I'm sorry, I didn't really clearly understand the answer. Are we addressing it to the person, the recruiting?
if you know the person, but you're not sure that this person will receive a CV and will be in charge of this recruitment. Sometimes it's not the case.
So it's just safer to skip a general.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, because
And do you date it?
yeah.
And
learning like these email closers for in French, what do you recommend is one that's appropriate in your opinion? Like right before your name. What do you find to be professional but polite?
Like the last sentence. Yes, cordialement is the most common thing. Let's say,
What did you say? Cordial is la même chose que like best regards.
Regards, yeah.
We have best regards.
cordialement, this is even when I send emails to some of my clients and so on, I always say like cordialement or bien cordialement when I know a bit the person, and bien à vous when like we feel really good together. So
And do you put, do you reiterate your contact information? So do I put Diva, my phone number, email,
at the end,
or is that necessary because it's attached to?
if you send a CV with that, it's not necessary. Yeah. Other questions?
When you described the format being you, the company, you plus the company. In the you section, what's like an example? I mean, because obviously stuff's already described in your resume.
Sure. Yeah.
So like, what do you recommend are good things to be drawing out in that moment?
To me, it's like a short summary of your resume. Short summary of it's in few sentences. You have to explain who you are. Then you talk about the company, what you like in the company, your interest for this company, and then what tasks you'd like to do for them that you found in the job description, and so on. It's good for the CV. Again, don't hesitate. I'm here for you. You've got
Yeah, just one more question.
personal or not? No.
You said, but still in the language. You said there's
Courant. Yeah.
Oh,
Fluent is courant.
so
Intermediate, so intermédiaire, and then basic.
There's no advanced.
Or you can, yeah.
So you said
Avance.
only three.
Avance.
Courant, intermédiaire, et basique.
Et langue et bilingue
Et
et langue maternelle.
Bilingue, c'est courant.
C'est plus que courant. More, ouais. Yeah. It means that you can, your level is like similar to your own mother tongue. About the job search, because now we've got a good resume, a good CV, and then yeah, you'd like to know where to find jobs, job offers, where to find jobs. What job sites do you know and do you recommend? So you can show it to the others. On which site do you go to find jobs? Yeah. So Indeed, Monster, LinkedIn. Welcome to the jungle. APEC, Pôle emploi. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, just to tell you, so there are some different kind of websites. Some general websites, like Monster can be one of it. Then you've got, and Pôle emploi is another one. So it's like the National Agency for Employment in France. So they publish a special job sites. It's where you will find the largest number of jobs in France. But it's not really international, I would say. They do not require language skills and so on. So it's up to you to go there, but maybe it's not that relevant. You've got another one called APEC, It's like the same thing as Pôle emploi, but it's for high qualified people, I would say. So you will not, sorry, APEC, exactly. High qualified. Like you will not find another jobs as, again, babysitting jobs and so on. So it's called, yeah, APEC, APEC. So this can be general websites. Then you've got some specialized job sites according to different profiles.
Like malt, you might want to go to malt.fr. MALT.fr, sorry.
Sure.
But if you do computer code, but it's really advanced people like just a lot of advanced people, doctors in mathematics and computer science. But they want like 500, 600, they charge 500, 600 euros a day for their work.
Oh, like,
It's contracting.
I thought you meant the service.
No, they do contract job.
Okay, I understand.
So yeah, you've got specific job sites according to profiles.
There's also hired.com. But hired is more specifically for marketing, but mostly in the tech field. But it's like a exclusive employment site where you sign up and then instead of you applying to jobs, companies.
They contact you.
So it's like they put the format.
So for instance, again, I don't know if you'd like to work in the fashion industry. There is a website called Fashion Jobs. So you can find Mr. Bilang is a specialized job site, so exclusively for international people. Your job is to find which website could be good for you. And to know that, you go on Google and you type site, emploi, and the name of the industry. For instance, bank or account, or I don't know. You have to find your industry, and then you can find some specific job sites only for your profile. So for instance, if you type site, emploi, mode, which means fashion, you will have fashion jobs and a list of specific job sites. So this is where you can find what could be the best job site for you. There are some, there are some recruitment agencies that you could register directly to these agencies, like Manpower, ACE, Adecco. So these companies, they're making like the intermediates between companies and candidates. Yeah, Adecco, ACE, Manpower. It's regional, all types of jobs. So this is just to let you know, these agencies, they charge the company to recruit the good profile. So they will never charge any candidates because sometimes people do not know and think, okay, do I have to pay them and so on. So their job is to find the best candidate for their clients. So they will charge the clients to do so. Just to let you know, because just to be sure that you know that we've got different types of contracts. It's the CDD, which is a limited contract. The CDI, which is unlimited contract. So just make the difference when you apply to be sure that you know that when it's a CDD, it's always for a short term or period, I would say. They always say, okay, it's going to be 4 months, 6 months, and so on. So for French people, what we always want is a CDI. So when you get a job, you feel relaxed and so on. So, we've got also contrat intérim. Contrat intérim, it's like a CDD, but it's a three-part contract: the company, the candidate, and this recruitment agency. But it means the same. So when it's interim, it's like CDD. It's just that the recruitment agency, found you for this position.
Yeah, so you have contractors or recruitment agency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a
They
three
wanna-
part contract, exactly. And again, even with this type of contract, they never charge the candidate. Because I often see people say, okay, they took my money. I'm sure that they took on my salary and so on. I've been working in this kind of company, and they always, again, the company has got money, they're going to charge the clients. You've got to find some offers. You can also go to job fairs. Do you know what it is? Job fairs. Exactement. Yeah. Salon de recrutement, salon emploi. It's like some events. A lot of companies go to the same points, and so you can. It's a way for you. It's an opportunity for you to go and meet some recruiters and give your application and so on. So you meet some recruiters. You got like 5 minutes to introduce yourself and so on.
So it's like bring that mindset.
Sure. Come with a lot of CVs and go to the company you'd like to work for and give your CV, and then you can ask some questions and so on. It's a good way, I think, for candidates to find jobs, because sometimes it's a bit difficult to always apply online, to have no answers and so on. So when you go there, you have an answer, you can share something. It's like face to face. So to know some job fairs, to know when and where it happens, you go on Google and you type Salon Emploi in Paris, for instance. And so you will have a list of different meetings, different events that can be useful for you. Some of these job fairs are specialized, again, in different industry. So you can try and type Salon Emploi and the name of the industry. Salon Emploi Banque, for instance. Maybe there is a job fair specialized for this kind of industry, so it can be a way for you to find some opportunities. And sometimes what is called cooptation. Don't know if you know it, maybe it's a French word. It's when you recommendation, we say, when you recommend somebody. So to me, the more you talk about your situation to people you know, can create some opportunities. This is how it works. Your company is looking for somebody. You say, like, I've just met somebody who can be good for this opportunity, this position. So I will ask for a CV and so on. So do not hesitate to talk about your situation, what you'd like to have as a job. And sometimes it works like that. Do you have other things to add for this job search, or how to find some jobs here? Do you know some other things? So, are you okay? Yeah. Okay. And for sure, do create a profile on LinkedIn. We've got a French professional social network called Viadeo, but do not necessarily write it, because to me it's really, I would say it's really French. It's not really international. But the companies there will not. Viadeo, Viadeo. Will go there and you will find really French jobs, like for French people, because It's for really for French companies, not really international. You can have a look at that.
Can you maybe tell us about French work culture?
About what, sorry?
The French work culture, because I think it's quite different from, for example, this culture. Is this something important that we should know?
Maybe for the job interview. This is yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the dressing,
Okay. First, but yeah, let's talk about the job interview. And to me, it's not something. What I'm gonna say about the job interview is really basic. So, but maybe it's different according to the culture and countries. For sure, when you get a job interview, gotta try to have a lot of information about the company for sure. So read again the job description just to know exactly what they expect, what they expect, because you will use it during the interview. To me, if you spend I don't know 1 hour on the website of the company, your goal is to use this information to say, okay, you see I'm motivated. I know that you're in I don't know in different countries. You've launched this project recently and so on. So do use the information that you got.
How do we dress? Does it have to be really formal?
You have to be professional for me. Like the recruiter is not your friends. Stay polite for sure. You say, for instance, vous instead of tu, because they're here to know if you're the right candidate or not. But the dressing code, it depends on the industry. Try to be dressed like you were in the company. Like you say, okay, in this type of industry, they do not wear a suit with a tie and so on. They are more with jeans and so on. So try
You
to.
know that beforehand.
Sorry?
Yeah, how are you gonna know that beforehand?
You know the industry. You know if you're working for a startup or in a bank, you know bits. Or if you do not know, stay classic.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Usually the startup is more.
Yeah, sure. Again, if you apply for a startup and you go from name with suit and tie and so on, it's okay. Maybe you will not match with the team and so on. So I'll try to know a bit about the habits and so on. Get to the interview like 5-10 minutes before. When you got an interview, try to have with you the phone number of the company, just to be sure that you can contact them if you're late. You're living in Paris, we've got some problems with metro, RER, etc. You're gonna be late a lot of times, but if you can call them and say, okay, I've got some problems with the transport, I'm gonna be there in 10 minutes, it's okay, there is no problem. But if you do not contact them, to me it leaves a bad impression. So try to have this with you. 5-10 minutes so you can relax a bit. You shake hands. Don't give a hug. Not gonna work. And it always begins the same way. Like, okay, introduce yourself, or can you talk to me about yourself and so on. So this question, they're gonna ask you. So to me, do prepare this question.
Can you ask questions?
Yeah, sure. Sometimes they tell you at the end, okay, do you have some questions you'd like to ask? So this is
And can you, because for example, in Holland, we are quite known for being direct. So they tell us, like, ask questions. For example, what was the last problem you had with some people you're working with? Can you ask this kind of questions, or is it too direct?
to be first.
Depends, of course, on the situation.
Yeah,
and it's
sure. But
for a
wait.
manager, for instance, or something like that.
Yeah, wait till the end do not for sure interrupt the person. Just keep in mind your 2, 3, or 4 questions, and at the end you can ask questions, and maybe at the end you will feel that okay, do I feel that asking this, or okay, I prefer not to ask it. But it's always better when candidate got some questions. It shows interest and things like that. So again, they may ask this question, so prepare 2 or 3 questions that you can ask. But yeah, they're gonna ask with, can you introduce yourself? To me, it can be good if you can work this both in French, and then say, okay, is it okay if I switch in English because I feel more comfortable? But it's better for me if you start in French, because they would think, okay, French is not perfect, but she's making efforts and she is going to match with the team. And 6 months later, the French will be even better, and so on. Maybe if the person starts saying, okay, no French at all, they're going to say, okay, will it match with the rest of the team? Maybe the person does not want to make any kind of efforts. Maybe in the short term or long term, it will make problems. So try to memorize 3 sentences in French, and then ask for switching. And when they ask you to introduce yourself, to me it's like really a summary of your CV, beginning with who you are, the education, and then the work experiences. And then they're gonna ask specific questions about an experience that you had. So be prepared for this kind of question. Try to anticipate some of their questions, like, okay, what you were concretely in charge during this experience. Okay, try to prepare to exercise yourself, because it is what they're gonna ask. Maybe something cultural, I would say, typical French, is about the question of salary, because it may be like taboo in French to talk about salary and so on. So I would recommend not to ask for how much it is paid right at the beginning. Because, for instance, I would think, okay, are you here only for money, or if the company is interesting, are the different tasks interesting, or it's only about the salary? For sure, we all work for that. But maybe it's not good to show that this is your first interest in working for this company. So let the recruiter talk about it. They will talk about it, because they will not hire you without knowing how much you expect. But let them talk about it. Maybe if it's not during the first interview, it can be during the second one. And when they talk about it, you can answer with a range, okay, between this and this, between this salary and this salary, to show that you're flexible, that this is the kind of this is the range that you'd like to have to be in this range. Because you do not necessarily know what you can ask for, because you say, okay, in my country, this is what I'm supposed to earn, that's what about France. To know your expectations and your French expectations, I would say, go on sometimes salary or the range is written on some job descriptions. So try to find job descriptions that fit your profile. And so you will say, okay, in France, I'm between this and this. So it can be good if I ask around this kind of salary. Or you can go on Glassdoor, which is I would say more American. So maybe French companies do not use it a lot here. It's American living in France.
Glassdoor is specifically to get a salary. So sometimes with larger companies, the way it works is that like I can report, and
in order to see, I have to like record it. So it's like a system of like anonymity so that you can see secretly how others are getting paid. So like I can type in product management for specific places. So like product management New York. So I can get a range of like what people in general. I can say what are product managers at American Express making. You get like 110,000 a year range. You can understand like okay, well that's I'm at this level based on this person. It's also like a good place to get introduced.
And then they can leave some comments about the company and so on.
Glassdoor.
Glassdoor.
Because even in Holland, we have like a website. You can fill in your experience, kind of education you had, kind of job you were doing, and then they will make like a definition.
Yeah.
For you to see how much you should work.
Yeah, but to me, it's a website to have like the expectation about your profile according to but you don't know if it's a big or a small company. So sorry,
Yes, yeah,
you know
can
that?
fill in everything. You can fill in
Different,
everything.
the industry
Yeah,
and so on. Yeah.
everything, yeah. But it doesn't exist.
Do not know that no. But yeah, to me, reading different job description, you can patterns.
But it's okay to negotiate.
You've got the right to negotiate.
Yeah.
But yeah, they will not always say yes for sure. But yeah, you can if you've got some good arguments. Yeah, this is something that you can do. If you just ask higher but without explaining why, it will not help you. What you can do. So at the end of the interview, again you shake hands and say goodbye. What you can do is the day after is to send an email to the recruiter saying, okay, I do thank you for the interview of yesterday. I'm still highly motivated for this position, and I stay at disposal if you need further information. To me, this is something that I like. It shows different things. First, that you're polite, and that you're really motivated to have this position. So this is something that you can do the day after, because it can make the difference between two applications. And to me, the more you are prepared, the more comfortable you will feel, and so it will be better for you to answer the questions during the interview. Do you have questions again about the interview and so on? Do you have some experiences that you had with French companies you'd like to share, or you're not sure, or so on?
Question is just coming back quickly to the CV. Does your company or do you know a company that provides services to help us to build the CV and the application?
Yes, we're launching a service of like a CV builder, I would say, with perfect French and so on, because it's not, some of you do not speak perfectly French, and it's important. You can leave your email address if you want. We got a piece of paper. And then we're gonna contact you, and we're gonna explain concrete what you'd like to do and so on. But yeah. Other questions? Because it's the end, so do not, again, I'm here, do not hesitate. No? Okay. Thank you very much. I hope it will help. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Sorry? Sure. Not it doesn't mean that when you apply, you get a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, we're working with a lot of different companies, and they want to just because we're niche, we're specific audience, and yeah.
What type of industries are you guys selling in?
It's